Why, hello there. Nice to hear, and I just got done with some annoying crap. But you don't need to hear that. What you need to know is that this is an unboxing of something that I'm hoping is pretty interesting, because this is a new brand to me, and I think a relatively new brand in general, plus a knife brand that I haven't actually had anything from before, because apparently this new brand also sells that brand on their website. Maybe that brand is making these new knives for them? Miguron is the new brand, but Azusa Blade Works is the new brand itself. Oh, and there's something else in here. What is this? Sticker. I have a lot of stickers. I don't need more stickers. Thank you. So, Azusa Blade Works, I got this off their website. And they also sell a couple other brands on their website, so I don't know how they're connected, but that's what it is. These are both budget knives, and I'm quite interested in seeing how they are. This is the... Does it say it anywhere? It does not. Of course not. Why would it say it anyway? Oh, they have like two knives. I'll link the site down below, and you can figure it out for your goddamn self. I'll note when it comes to the review. This is chunky. Very chunky. Much more chunky and heavier than I thought it was going to be. As you can see, it is a front flipper with a... I mean, technically when it starts dropping from the spine, it's normally a Wharncliffe, but it's also got this little angle here, angle change, so it's kind of both a sheep's foot and a Wharncliffe. It's a liner lock. It's in 14C28N with a gray PVD and green G10. It is on bearings and very smooth. Absolute metric shit ton of play, though. So, yes, this looks like it was probably made for Azusa by Miguron, though I can tell kind of by the hardware. Even though I don't have much experience with Miguron, I can kind of tell by the hardware. That is a ton of play in there. That is still a ton of play in there. Why is that a ton of play in there? Oh, okay, that makes sense then. A little bit of play. It was very loose. It is almost centered. Definitely favors the front a little bit, but considering there's still play, that might correct itself. Well, we're tighter now. Play is gone. Still pretty good action. Yeah, the blade is almost center. It does favor this side a little bit. It looks a lot worse. I mean, part of it's the grind. You can kind of see, well, I mean, you can straight up see how the blade sits there, but one side of the grind goes in deeper. I'm not too upset about that. I mean, this is a budget knife. This thing was like $50. In 14C28N, G10, steel liners, not nested, G10 backspacer, titanium clip probably. Good access to the lock bar. Sits out nice and proud. It's a little bit tighter now, of course, because I tweaked down. I could probably also try and center this thing more. But for now, tightened. It's off center. Though, let's see. It mostly looks like it's ground towards the tip off center. The blade looks like up here, almost centered. Just a slight bit, like maybe that much. So yeah, it's mostly the grind. So it's a front flipper. Plunge grind is not good. Stop pin is... Oh, that was what I was hoping it wasn't. The stop pin is horrible. The stop pin is... Stop pin hits there. So there is 0 life on this knife. It's got a good edge on it. It's a bit thick, but reasonable. It'll get thick fast. It's comfortable in hand. Quite comfortable in hand. It almost feels contoured. There's so much chamfering going on here. There's a rounding and chamfering. And the edges are finished really, really nice. And it's 14C28N, but that is not a knife that is going to last through more than like 2 or 3 sharpenings before you start having some serious issues, because it hits right there. And that edge terminates right there. That's a problem. So, that's an immediate, massive issue. I'm almost scared to sharpen this knife, to be honest with you, because that's going to start having issues of quite possibly from the very first sharpening. You might not even get 2 or 3 sharpenings out of that, because that is sitting right there. In fact, that is at the bevel. So, Jesus, that's a problem. So the grind's a bit off, and the stop pin's a bit off. Everything else feels and operates quite good. Of course, that is like death knell for this thing. I already can say that I won't be able to recommend it, even if I do a full review on it and don't just send it back, because this is... It's a budget knife, but that's a big problem. That makes me think I can't even do anything with it. I guess I could cut in a sharpening choil in front of that spot, like there to there. Just start at the back of the edge, the heel, and then pop it up to there, and just cut in a sharpening choil that, and hope that's fine. I might try that just to see if it works, and see. But while I like the design, it's different. It's interesting. That stop pin placement is a big old problem. Can you reverse flick it? Yes, you can. The gray PVD does have just enough traction to get it sort of out there. Reasonably thick. Thick in the hand, definitely. Big, thick liners in there. I like a lot of what's going on here. And on a budget knife at $50, I'm not like, oh my god, it's not centered. As I said, I could probably get it a little bit more centered as it is. Though, that right there, it appears to be with the blade completely centered. So it's mostly the grind at the tip. That is what it is. It's got a good edge, good access. That stop pin's a problem. Big old problem. Let's see how about the Miguron. I mean, it definitely... I have had one Miguron in for a short period of time before. It was one of the really early ones, and it had some issues. But that clip and that hardware looks Miguron-esque to me, so I'm thinking Miguron made it for them, but didn't take into consideration the stop pin. This, however, is a pre-existing Miguron that's been around for a while, and I've never tried it, and I've heard good things about it, though. This is the Velona. Been around for quite a while. It's a big knife. There is a miniature version of it, which is not so mini, but it is smaller than this big old sucker. Because this big old sucker is, I believe, a 4-inch blade. Yeah, that's a considerably larger knife. But weirdly enough, like, hold on, there's no way. The Velona feels almost as heavy as, or not much heavier than the other one. 5.28 ounces, yeah, it's a big knife. Oh, 3.80. That's weird. The other one feels like a little tank. Maybe it's just because of the size. It feels almost similar. It's not. I'm obviously retarded, but it is what it is. Everybody knew that. At least I did. Gray PVD. I actually do like the gray PVDs, but I think the Miguron's one is actually slightly better. Well, they executed it slightly better on their own knife. Who would have thunk, right? Very smooth. ultra comfortable in the hand. There is a sharp, big choil up here that you can definitely use. I do feel like I could rotate into the blade a little bit, but I think I'm pretty safe in there. Definitely get up real close. Great grip. It is flat scales, but it feels actually quite good. Again, large enough chamfers, even when they're hard edge chamfers, like severe chamfers, if you do it right, it works. So many of these companies that I've seen recently, Spyderco and stuff, have just, I don't know, their chamfers, it just doesn't feel like it's chamfered enough or in the right way for the knife. Shadowboxed liners, kind of. Big full liners. Big old backspacer with G10 titanium pocket clip that looks pretty low profile. But it does look like it would work. Great access to the lock bar. I mean, that's endless access to the lock bar. The blade is relatively sterile with that logo being on the pivot. N14C28N, again, blade steel. Great flipping action. Yes, if you need a big budget knife, this is pretty darn good, I'll tell you right off the bat. There is a tiny bit of play in there. Can reverse flick it. This one is actually favoring the lock side. And there's a little bit of play, so it might get worse. But, again... Oh, there we go. Okay, the play is gone. Action is a tiny bit tighter. But still, very nice, smooth shake shut. It is off-center. I might be able to center that one up. I actually probably will be able to center this one up when it's facing... Because it's not that off-center. Right? It's very minorly off-center. So this one... And of course, the flipper tab is a great spot to put the stop pin, so no problem with accessing the choil, which stops way up here. This is a well-designed, well-executed knife. This is a great budget knife already. I can tell. This is a good budget knife. It comes down surprisingly thin. Great drop point blade shape. Nice fuller. Decent amount of life. It'll get thicker, but it's quite thin as it is, and I don't think it's going to be, like, getting out of the range of very usable for a long time. Very comfortable, ergonomic in the hand. Big thing, though. It is a pretty good sized knife. It's not huge, but it is large. Great flipping action. Yeah, there's a lot of really good here. And I like this G10. Especially paired with this gray PVD. It looks good. So this one's good. This one, probably also made by Miguron, is not so good. Pure, unfortunately. Even though it's got great action. I mean, this one's got even better than action than the Velona, but... Ooh, that stop pin hitting there is... Yeah, I'm going to have to... I think I will probably keep this knife and just do an experiment, see if I can cut in a choil in front of that. Because that is basically hitting the edge almost right now. So I'm going to see if I carefully cut in a choil in front of that, if I can work with that plunge grind or not, because it's pretty bad. But I do like the design. So and the jimping's great. Yeah. So we got a win. We've got a not so win, but possibly I might be able to turn it into a win. For two $50 knives, it's not too bad. Come on, get out there. Okay, it's doesn't want to be reverse flicked. It is a thick boy, though. This one is a thick boy behind the edge. I mean, right behind the edge is decent, but it gets thick fast. It doesn't have much room to go up. This thing needed a full flat grind. So I guess it would take away some of that look, right? I don't know. just something for consideration. I'll link Azusa Blade Works site and whatever down below. Like I said, they carry other knives. I think they have like one or two or maybe three models of their own. I'll be back with the review for both of these knives, and I will end things here. Thank you for watching. Consider liking and subscribing. Kind of got to say that for the algorithm, you know how it is. Good lock bar tension, too. See you in the next one, guys. This one took a while, but I did an unboxing of two knives, so what the heck, right? See ya!